Ding, 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 and just like that, round two is underway. And today we're going to preview the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Rangers. Hey everybody, welcome into Clearing the Benches, your one-stop shop for daily fresh hockey content. If you go ahead and hit your subscribe button right now, every single day we'll bring you in a new hockey video to enjoy. First things we got to do today is congratulate the Boston Bruins. They eliminated the Toronto Maple Leafs in an awesome overtime game last night. If you're not a Maple Leafs fan, that is one for the ages. That was just a great hockey game to watch, especially if you weren't a fan of either one of those two teams. That was just an awesome game. I give it up to Toronto, too. They had a lot of little hiccups during this series, with Nylander, and then you had it with Matthews and the Marner incident. So, again, I give it up to Toronto. They put up a really good fight. And again, congratulations to the Boston Bruins for moving forward. Now, let's take a look at this series that starts in just a few short hours. And Carolina will be in the Big Apple to take on the Broadway Blueshirts. I think this whole series is going to come down to clutch goaltending. We're getting a rematch of Shesterkin, Freddie Anderson from 2022, and both of these guys are firing on all cylinders. The Rangers just destroyed the Caps. They kept Ovechkin off the board in that series. Shesterkin 4-0, .931 save percentage, 1.75 goals against. Freddie Anderson, equally impressive against the New York Islanders in their drubbing down against them. And he had a .912 save percentage and a .225 goals against. One thing I'll say about both of these teams, the Rangers really didn't see so much adversity in the first round of the playoffs, but they definitely saw a lot during the regular season. They had some ups and downs. I'll give it up to Carolina. They overcame that big, deficit against the Islanders, and then after that, you could just see the writing on the wall that it was just going to be them the rest of the way out. You got a lot of firepower on both of these teams. Not only in the regular season, the Rangers had 5 guys with 70 points or more. I think Carolina only had a couple. But when you look at the plus minuses on the Carolina forwards versus the Rangers forwards, a significant difference. Carolina is much better when you look at the plus minus numbers there. And again, playoffs are 5-on-5. Carolina is near the top. Rangers are in the middle of the pack. They seem to have straightened that out towards the second half of this season. Guys like Zibanejad got on track. But again, this series to me is going to come down to the goaltending. I think you're going to see mostly 1-goal games. I don't think you're going to see any blowouts. Maybe you'll see a 2-goal game because of an empty netter at the end. Maybe there's going to be some more scoring in the first 2 games than there will be as this series goes on. But I think this is going to be a tremendous series. I mean, the team that wins this series could score 12, 14 goals and has to hold the other team to 10 or 11 goals to do that. So when I look at Carolina, what they got going on in the first round, they scored 19 goals against the Islanders. They were getting it from everybody. Seth Jarvis, one of my favorite players in the whole league, and he is showing the world why. 7 points in that series against the Islanders, and in my opinion, he dominated. Then you're looking next up, you got Marty Necas coming in with 5 points. Svechnikov came in with 5 points. Kuznetsov chipped in with 4 points. I saw that, and I thought there's still a couple more guys. You didn't hear a whole lot about Sebastian Aho or Jake Gensel in that first series, so you're definitely going to be hearing more about them. Same thing on the other side for the Rangers. I think you're going to be hearing a lot more from Alexis Lafreniere this series. I think this is going to be really a Lafreniere type series. He likes these grinded out games. He's highly skilled, but he's not super flashy. He's really good in these mucky games, as are the Canes. So, like I said, these are all going to be close games, and it's going to be a really good series. When I look at what the Rangers did in the first round there, Mika Zibanejad lit it up, 7 points. Trocheck came in with 6 points. Panarin and Kreider, pretty quiet. They only had 3 points each. So again, and they're going to have to really step it up in this next series against Carolina if the Rangers are going to be successful. When we looked at the regular season, they only played 3 times. The Rangers won 2 of those 3 games, and I think they were 1-goal games again. So, that tells me that's going to be what we see in these playoffs. I think in addition to, clutch goaltending and timely goals, I think you're going to need to score when you're on the power play. I think those are the types of timely goals. Capitalizing on your advantages is what really that's going to come down to in the timely goal department. The other thing that I really think, and this is going to be more of an emphasis in my opinion, those first 2 lines on Carolina and the Rangers have got so much star power. And I don't want to say that they wash themselves out, but they pretty much do wash themselves out. When you look at the skill, the points, what these guys are capable of, they are very, very capable at the least. So when I look at this series, I think this is going to come down to who wins the 3rd and 4th line battles. And you got some really, really good guys in these areas. And again, this is going to be grinded out. You're going to see so much pushing and shoving along the boards, guys freezing the puck up, guys trying to chip it out. When I was looking at Carolina and their 3rd line matchup against the New York Rangers, I'll tell you what, Carolina can definitely bring it with their 3rd line. You've got Jordan Martinook, you got Drury, you got Marty Necas. And they would be going up against a rookie in Will Cooley, but he's proven himself that he's a gamer this year. Wenberg, who they got from Seattle. I'll tell you what, he's been quiet on the score sheet, but if you watch his game, he pays attention to detail. He's not getting caught out of position. I don't think he's a minus. If he's nothing else, he's at least even in the plus-minus department. And Capo Caco is going to be a big guy in this series as well. I think he's going to be a guy the Rangers are going to count on to kill some time in certain situations. The Rangers, they're going to want to keep the puck down low in the offensive zone. And Caco is a very good possession guy when it comes to holding on to the puck and killing time. Again, as far as, being the 2nd overall pick behind Jack Hughes a couple of years ago, the distance between him and Hughes is like miles. But Caco is still a very good hockey player. He's highly skilled. And playing on a 3rd line, you can see his value for sure. Then we go down to the 4th line, and this is where it gets really interesting to me because, again, this 3rd line matchup, I don't want to say it could be a wash, but you may not see a whole lot of scoring out of those guys, and if you do, it could be a huge goal in the series. 4th line, and again, Carolina brings it with their 3 guys, Kotkaniemi, Kuznetsov, Nosen, and they'd be going up against some guys. You've heard all 3 of these guys' names this year, especially after that big Jersey Devils brawl in Jimmy Vesey, Barclay Goodrow, and of course Matt Rempe. And as far as Rempe goes, unless they change their mind, I think Rempe is going to get a regular shift in this series. I think that they found he's responsible enough defensively. He doesn't really get caught out of position that much. Every once in a while he takes like a little chicken wing penalty, but I don't think Laviolette minds that at all. I think Laviolette really likes his effort. I think he likes the fact that he can say to the kid, hey, on this shift, go out and do this and don't do this. And the kid listens, and he's pretty good. He took some criticism early in the season. People were saying he didn't want to fight guys. If you looked at all his fights, the last thing he did before he dropped the gloves in most of those fights is look over to the bench to see if Laviolette or some assistant coach was giving him the thumbs up. There was a time he looked over to the bench and they said, nope, come to the bench, and he looked at the guy, he said, maybe next time, and, went to the bench. I don't think there's going to be any fights in this series. I don't really think Carolina has any guys that bring that kind of nasty aggressiveness. Listen, I love Jordan Martinook. That guy can play on any team in this league. And you know what? He can fit in on the first line. He can fit in on the fourth line as well. So they've definitely, both of these teams have got big time depth. And then when you look into the defensemen, or you look at the guys, up front even, let's look at two guys in particular, Chris Kreider and Seth Jarvis. I've loved Kreider's career, and I am loving what I see out of Jarvis, and they play a very similar game. They deflect a lot of shots. They're blocking the goalie's view a lot. They're causing chaos in front of the net. When you need a puck out of the corner and you need it brought to the net in a hurry, those are the two guys you want. I don't care what anyone says about Chris Kreider. A couple of years ago, he put 50 goals up. And that guy is a physical player. He's extremely fast. He's good on breakaways, shorthanded. And it's pretty much, when I look at Seth Jarvis, I see a mirror of what I see in Kreider, just a guy who can do it all. And I think Seth Jarvis is only going to be getting better as time goes on. And then when I look at some of the defensive pairings, same thing. You've got a lot of really skilled, high intelligence defensemen back there. When I look at guys, Brent Burns and Trouba, okay, the first two guys out of the gate, all right, both number 8 by chance. I see a similar game. Those are the guys, when people are unsure, they turn to Burns. When the Rangers are unsure, they turn to Trouba. And Trouba and Burns always have an answer. They don't ever get caught scratching their heads. So in terms of leadership, you've got big-time leadership coming out of both of those guys. Both of those guys will be the first one into a fray. I know that Burns is a little bit more offensively minded than Trouba is. But again, Trouba's a guy, he catches you with your head down coming across center ice. It could be a devastating hit for you. But I love watching these two guys, Burns and Trouba. And then when you get down, ex-Ranger, Brady Skjei. I got to tell you, as a Ranger fan, Carolina their fans should be very happy with Brady Skjei's performance since he got traded down to Carolina. Brady Skjei was not as good in New York as he is down in Carolina. I'll just say it. I know he was bought up. He was young. Listen, the kid played well for the Rangers. It wasn't like he was a sore thumb, but he just wasn't that good. And when the Rangers got rid of him, not a lot of their fans were like in an uproar about it. They were like, it's just Brady Skjei. Let him go. He's never going to do anything. And now here you are facing him in the playoffs, in a do or die situation. And Brady Skjei has definitely improved over the years. So I'm going to say that, he's going to be a name you're going to be hearing a lot of. He likes to jump into the rush as well. He's going to be on the power play, so you're going to hear a lot about Brady Skjei. And just as well on the other side, you're going to be hearing Adam Fox's name every broadcast, all broadcast. He's going to be in every situation, killing penalties. He's going to be on the power play. He's going to be trying to lead them on the break coming out of their end. And defensively, again, he's a very, very smart guy. He knows which plays to make. He does not get caught out of position very often. And then when I look down to two other guys, again, very similar, smothering types of guys in K'Andre Miller and Jacob Slavin. Both of these guys could play on any team in the NHL, and they would probably be first-line D. Miller has started to step it up in the offensive area. He started to get more confident jumping up into the rush. But he has also improved on the back end. He used to be a little bit of a liability. He didn't always make the safest pass coming out of the zone. And every once in a while, he would get caught, coughing up the puck. As does every defenseman coming up. He's young still. I don't even think Miller's like 24 yet. So Jacob Slavin on the other side, there's nothing, you can't say about this guy that hasn't been said. He is just, to me, another guy, one of my favorite players. I would take him on my team no matter where I was. And if he was available, free agency or via a trade, I'd pick up the phone and say, let's get him on our team. This guy is a winner. And again, another really highly intelligent player who knows how to make the right plays at the right time. So that's going to do it for our episode today. I just wanted to go into a little bit of depth about, some of the matchups that we're going to be seeing starting in just a couple hours. I think these games start in about 3 hours today. And this is going to be a really good game. I think, maybe today you could see the most scoring in this series that you're going to see. But that's going to do it again. If you could, please hit your subscribe button. If you want to hit the like button. And as we always do here at Clearing the Benches, especially in round 2 of the playoffs, let them know you're out there.